We have to restart our sleep schedule again. I screwed it up big time. But let's go do the rest of the role quest because I want to get out of this game. So we'll do we're gonna do Refuge, which is the range magical DPS. So yes. Guys, we're going to Ishtar. Our aching souls. Ah, my lady Ronald. I still gotta change the joke. I still gotta change back to a male again. I've waited. You're coming. The phenomenon where in men turning to monsters, it pains to say that Ishgard has not been spared. A dread blasphemy has appeared in the Holy See. And to compound the people's horrors, the beast resembles a dragon. It is imperative that it be vanquished without delay and today. And we have begun assembling a hunting party. Given that fear and despair may turn our allies against us, we are being saying who we choose for this duty. While we have confidence in the quality of our knights, the mission would greatly benefit for the presence of a battle mage, one who can stand unflinching in the face of our fell quarry. We would be hard-pressed to find an individual who fits that description better than you. Will you not lend us your strength and skill? You can count on me. We are in your debt. Just a moment while I relay the glad tidings to command. To settle. Upon arriving in Ishgard, please take yourself to the Aetheroid Plaza. Lord Artrial will be there to receive you. May the Fury speed your way. Let's just hope nobody gets in our way. Because we can't afford. So we'll do the Red Mage role quest and then switch to another game for the rest of the time. And I know the game I want to do. I'm gonna have to buy some things first, though. Ronald, I've been expecting you. Words cannot well express how heartening it is to have you fighting beside us. Allow me to echo that sentiment. Greetings, my friend. Least you wonder, Lord Adriel and I are leading the effort to deal with the blasphemy. With your capable self in the fold, I have no doubts that we shall succeed. Without further ado, I shall brief you on the situation. It is a handful of days after the first beasts appeared in Razahan. An Ellison man was observed at the Hopland in the pillars, walking with an unsteady. All of a sudden, he buckled over as if in pain, and before anyone knew what was happening, he had transformed into a terrible draconic beast. Are you sure it's the blasphemy and not just a dragon transformation? At the mere sight of this, many who chanced to be present also turned. Okay, that says it all. But regrettably, the Temple Knights were forced to put them down. The blasphemy itself, however, took wing and fled. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it, after the dragon man of Ishgardian myth. Since that day, the beasts have all been sighted in the skies above Ishgard. It does not attack, only circles menacingly for a time, ere disappearing again. Alas, these brief visitations are enough to cause more people to turn, and for fear and panic to spread further. As part of our investigation, we have sought to identify the man who became the blasphemy, but thus far we have learned not. We have, however, identified a common thread between those who subsequently turned. All were people of fervent faith, people such as priests and inquisitors. So it's targeting. When the truth of our nation's history was laid bare, the legitimacy of the church was called into question. Many Asgardians struggled to reconcile the revelations with their beliefs, and none more so than the pirates. Such men and women, we persist, would be more susceptible to despair and therefore the transformation. We must find a way to stop it. Ishgard has only just emerged from a 1,000-year war, and we cannot suffer another great tragedy, much less so soon. In order to attain a better understanding of the situation, we intend to speak with a member of the clergy, a sole individual who survived witnessing the blasphemy's birth without being turned. Clem is his name, and he is a deacon at St. Bernard's Cathedral. Come, let us seek him out there at once. Oh boy. Oh, I remember this place. Somewhat. I think. Maybe. Perhaps. No? Maybe not. No? Lord Emmerich, and the savior of Ishgard besides. You do me great honor. I am Clem, and I served as deacon here at St. Bernard's Cathedral. I understand you are among those at the Hopland. In the innocent occurred, we give thanks to the Fury for your merciful preservation. We now seek to prevent the blasphemy from wreaking havoc further, and would appreciate any detail you could provide. Loath though we are to make you recall unpleasant memories, you not recount to us what you witnessed that day. Very well. We were presently relocating the vault's libraries to the cathedral, in case you were unaware. Oh. Want it. We have finished delivering a batch of tomes and we're on our way to bring over another. As we approached the Hopland, we noticed a young man walking unsteadily. No sooner had he come to an abrupt halt than he transformed into a draconic beast. The fiend fixed us with a menacing glare, and it was all we could do to find our wits and flee. To my compounding horror, my brethren who were with me began turning into monstrosities as well, one after another. There's the furry that you at least were spared, Deacon Clem. I cannot imagine how frightening the experience must have been. Oh god. Bishop Varanox. Forgive me if I interrupt. I was informed that our stalwart protectors were present and wish to express my gratitude. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service. I pray that we shall soon be free of this scourge. Indeed, there ought we do to aid your efforts. You need but say it. You are most kind, your grace. That was Bishop Varanox, the head of Saint Remains and a member of the Synod? With the seat of the Archbishop vacant, he is in effect, the highest authority in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Ah, this is so, yet in spite of his elevated station, he remains as kind and humble a man as any I have ever known. Like his grace, I would do all that I can to help shepherd our people through this uncertain time. To that end, there is a request I would make of you. If you could spare a moment to consider it. Of course, if it is within our power, we should be glad to offer your aid. Wow, that item I put up on the market board sold rather quickly. In the wake of the transformations, a group of clergymen fled the city in fear. Yet though they sought refuge in the wilderness, they put themselves at the mercy of the elements and fell fiends both. Given that the cause of the transformation is not clear, I think theirs was a decidedly unwise decision. I wish to set out and find them, but I am not trained in the ways of war. Such I require those who are to accompany in the church. So that is the way of it. Suffice it to say, we will help. Do you know whether your fellows may have headed? The western highlands, I believe, between Gorgani Mills and Hemlock. There is no shortage of abandoned dwellings in the area. Very well. Time being of the essence, I propose we split up and scour separate areas. Ronald, if you could escort the good man into Gorgani Mills, Lord Arterel, I will tend to Hemlock. Hemlock. Tend to ham sandwich. Anyway. I want to say, by the end of this year, there's a game I want to do, and I want it done, so that we can move on to something bigger, and that's Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. Because if I get that game done and master it, I can have, I'll have the entire, I will finally have the 13 series complete. We'll be playing the Steam edition, of course. The Steam version, and probably find mods that keep it stable. Because I'm pretty sure that game is completely unstable on PC, right? So, because if I get that done, we can finally go play Final Fantasy XV, which honestly, I don't know how we're gonna do that fully, because that game has so many DLCs and like different versions of it. It's got a Windows version, a Royal version, like, and I don't know which one has everything in it. So some of them might be even missing content in it. So it's like, I'll have to dive into that and find out which is like the definitive one to play. You? I see you found them. Yes, and none the worse for wear. Thank you, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have given cause for alarm. We came out of concern for your well-being. Though we understand why you quit the city, we fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here. His Grace, Bishop Veritanox, too, worries for your health and prays for your swift return. So please, will you not allow us to escort you to the Holy See? I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. Servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? This is your fault. You and your cursed revolution. The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit in our faces. And now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities. Enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity. Ah, I should have known. What? All I have ever done was in service of her. I am a good man. I do not. She cannot forsake me. And he's gone? And he ran? Now, I'm confused. Now we're confused, Ronald. We cannot allow him to harm any others. What do you mean? He just ran off. He could have harmed all of us. Give chase and do what you must. We remain here to keep the others calm. I knew this was going to happen. It's always like this with Ishgard. They think that the world, everything revolves around them, not realizing the rest of the world is suffering from this event. I mean, it's been resolved because we're further ahead, but still. Oh, come on, button. God, I gotta remember how to play it again. It's not. I was playing with it. I was playing Red Mage in maps last night, like yesterday, like in the evening, with others, and I was like, I finally got a chance to see like the full rotation of the of Red Mage. Like I got into Unleash Scorch and then the ability after it. I think it's called Revolution or Resolution. Is it done, Ronald? Yes. What happened is most regrettable, but we must be grateful that no one else came to harm. While you were gone, the deacon was able to convince the others to return to the city. Let us escort them back at once, and then reconvene at the congregation to consider our next course of action. For our purposes, we have the use of the strategy room. Announce yourself to the guard, and he will show you in. These take so long to do. Lord Emmerich and Ariel await you with in the strategy room. Will you be joining them now? Yeah. Let's go. These two wonder. We have taken the clergymen to St. Remains to rest and recover. But truth be told, the thought that they may still succumb to despair in turn remain at the forefront of my mind. Yet the risk would be greater still, were we to keep them at arm's length and deny them the comfort of the church. Indeed, from the words he spoke, that Inquisitor yearned for the days of old. He and others like him could scarcely be blamed, since the truth of the nation's foundings and the Archbishop's machinations were made public knowledge. The church has been in turmoil. Though we have made great strides in separating religion and state, there has been far less progress in the reformation of the church. For our faith has been everything to us, our purpose and our comfort. 'Tis not easy. 'Tis not an easy thing to reconcile one's beliefs with the betrayal of our spiritual leaders. Thus, torn between our hearts and minds, many Asgardians feel lost, and none more so than members of the clergy whose faith was once unshakable. Little wonder then that the most dedicated and devout are like to turn. So it seems, by further investigation is needed ere we draw a definite conclusion. With the war's end, Ishgard has set out on a new path. The choices we make now shall determine our course for the future. Come what may, we dare not squander the chance we have fought so hard to attain. Once the returned clergymen have sufficiently calmed down, I shall have the deacon speak with them, and we might gain some insight into their individual plights. Good. Meanwhile, I shall take the opportunity to brief my men on recent developments. Pray take a moment's rest, my friend. You have earned it. When you are ready to continue our work, you may seek us out here. There it is. No forgiveness, no deliverance. Ah, Ronald, your timing could not be better. Deacon Clem has finished speaking with the rescued clergyman, and will be here shortly to share his findings. Lord Emmerich, too, is on his way. Let us wait for them. Deacon Clem, we thank you for making the inquiries on our behalf. There's no imposition in the least. As I said, I'm glad to do all I can. So, 'tis our understanding that those we escorted back were all close acquaintances of the Inquisitor who turned. Like him, they too had been the subject of harassment by certain quarters of the populace. Is that correct? It is, I am afraid. And they are far from alone. Men of the cloth were once afforded respect and deference as servants of Helone, but now they are openly reviled by many. We were complacent, perpetrating terrible lies. This is true, but we too were misled. We too are victims, yet we are regarded by some as criminals. Do I understand the people's anger? But it saddens me to think that they would thus lash out at their fellow man, especially when we need solidarity most of all. Though I can imagine your plight, I would not presume to fully grasp your pain. Will you tell us the challenges you and yours have had to face since the war's end? Like all sons and daughters of Ishgard, we dreamed of peace in our lifetime. But now it has come. We find we have little cause to rejoice. Our faith has long been the foundation of our lives, and overnight that foundation had been crumbled by fractures beyond repair for some. To learn that we have been deceived and that we had unwittingly deceived others in turn was devastating. We, who have once been shepherds to men, find ourselves lost lambs, bereft of surety, and wanting for guidance. We have languished in darkness, all of us. Yet I have faith that the church will redeem itself, that it will find a new path, and again become a beacon of hope for the people. I see. Thank you for sharing this with us. Your testimony has confirmed our suspicions. According to our allies, that which calls people to turn is none other than their despair and anguish. If it wasn't before, 'tis now abundantly clear why members of the clergy are among the transformed. That you did not, I believe, is due to your unwavering faith in the church. In light of this, we would ask for your continued cooperation. Of course, anything to help my brethren. Now that we have established the cause, this leaves us with the mystery of profane Fafnir's identity. The progenitor of these troubles. Could he too have been a man of the cloth? From what I recall of his garb, I doubt it. He was dressed in the common fashion and inadequately against the cold. Besides, 'tis said that something of the individual may remain in the blasphemy, influencing its behavior. If we can determine what instincts drive profane Fafnir, we may learn who it once was, and this knowledge, I believe, will prove vital in our efforts to stop it. Deacon Clem, we ask that you reach out to your fellow clergymen. Please do what you can to ease their anxieties. Understood. As I have ever done, I shall provide what comfort I can to those in need. Meanwhile, we must make it a priority to identify the blasphemy. To that end, I would seek out more eyewitnesses. The Hoplan is a busy place at any given time. Some ordinary citizens are bound to have been present at that tragic event unfolded. I propose we make inquiries into parallels. If you can attend to the Hoplan, Lord Arderel and I will look into the surrounding areas. I wasn't present for the incident at the Hoplan, but a young man poorly dressed for the cold, that I did see. I recall him well because an aide from the St. Vanderos was searching for him. He was a patient at the infirmary, and by coincidence had the same name. Oh, this place is so confusing sometimes. Whee! Look at my own. The dragon that appeared at Hoplan. I saw with my own eyes. One moment an Ellison, the next a terrible beast. He was a heretic, I take it. Nope. The thing is, they... Where is it? Okay. No, I didn't see that dragon, nor would I wish to, frightful as it sounds. They say it wasn't a Dravanian attack, but if not, then what was it? There you are, Ronald. Did you search? Did you search the old any? Oh my God, I can't speak. A patient of the firmament's infirmary, you say. Among those to whom I spoke, one claims to have witnessed an individual fitting that description. A man walked in a stumper who did not seem to feel the cold. If he had wandered straight out of the infirmary, it would explain his state of Atari. Yes, I dare say we have found our blasphemy, but to think that his name should be Vandrio. It's the same as that of former Heaven's Word Commander Sir Vandua de Rachmandi, for whom the infirmary is named. Sir Vanna, however, retired from his station at the ripe old age some years ago. It is not like him to have. It is not like to have been him. In any case, we have a lead. I shall head to the infirmary. Pray wait for me in the broom. This is Laverick, the aide who was in charge of Vandaria. Have you found him? You say you have. You have not, I'm afraid. But we seek to and hope that you could tell us more about him. May we ask how he came to be at the infirmary? He was found by a patrol in the Central Highlands to being treated for his hurts. He was brought to us for convalescence. being in the prime of his years, he had been doing well, but then... Prime of his years, by all accounts, he is no old man. It seems safe to assume it isn't Sir Vandorio. Oh no, he's definitely a different person, as I told Lord Artriel. And though he gave his name as Vandorio, he seemed rather confused, and we had no means to confirm his identity. In his state, he shouldn't be wandering about on his own. Let's find him. The man who recently turned into a beast at we regret to say, been Vandorio. No, how can this be? Not else you could tell us things he may have said or done while in your care? While he was still unconscious, often rambled, though most of it was incoherent. He mentioned the Archbishop many times. Oh, and he spoke of a bishop too. Bishop Varanox, I assume some pious man given this. I see. Thank you for your cooperation. We will continue our investigation and should we confirm what became of Vandorio, inform you forthwith. Let us return to the congregation for now. Gosh. Huh. The mystery remains, but we are one step closer to identifying the man who became profane male. Indeed, though he did not at first appear to be a member of the clergy. His words betray a favored faith. And how curious that you should speak not only of the Archbishop, but Bishop Vectornal and... Perhaps he was personally acquainted with His Grace. In light of the possibility, I believe we should speak with him directly. Agreed. I will request an audience, but His Grace has many demands upon his time. It may be a while before we are seen. Should you have other business, pray feel free to attend to them in the meantime. Okay? You know, I got a world to save. At least that's what I would say during this time, but the issue has been resolved. Only justice. Only vengeance. Ronjo, excellent timing as always. Oh, excellent timing as ever. The Clam has just sent word that Bishop will see us now, by which I mean right this instant. It's extremely short notice, I know. It would not do to miss the opportunity to learn how he and Verno may be connected. Not wishing to keep his grace waiting, Lord Emmerich is already on his way to St. Ramino's Cathedral. Let us hurry there ourselves. My lords, I am so sorry. I informed his grace that you were making your way hither, but shortly before you arrived, he recalled that he had an urgent business, had to leave the cathedral at once. He could not have gone far, though, so if you wish to search for him, you can still steal a moment of his time. To grant us an audience ready to depart with such haste, what business could be so pressing? Well now, not even the Savior of Guard should be here. The grace perhaps 'tis simply our misunderstanding, but we were under the impression that you granted us an audience. Lord Speaker, rest assured, I was about to return to the cathedral. There's no need, Your Grace. This will not take long. As you may have heard, we are investigating a young man named Vanderell. Is he known to you? No, I can say he is, with the exception of the former Archimanderate. I am sure I've known no one by that name. But mine and the Archbishops are known to many. Yes, perhaps this youth took inspiration from public services of which we presided. Goodly soul that he is, full glad am I that his faith was of comfort to him in sickness, and I pray to Helena that he will soon be found in good health. Now then, if there is not nothing else, I shall return to my duties. Fear not, Your Eminence. I shall carry on your legacy. I've completed the preparations as per your instructions. Are you certain this will work? It will. It must. Lord Emmerich spoke the truth when he revealed the Archbishop sought primal powers to strengthen the people's faith. I could not bring myself to believe it, not at first, but in the course of cataloging His Eminence's personal articles, I came upon his journal. Therein he had written that, through abundant ether and fervent prayer, it is possible to make gods of men. All the power we require lies in this place, this Azelah. By channeling the essential elements into the soulless flesh and sword we found. He's a You turn the vessel of a... We shall summon forth King Thornton and his knights 12, and by his blessed Ishgard shall be restored to its former glory. Yeah, funny. It didn't work the first time. What makes you think it would work the second time? I mean, we would just show up and stop you again. It's just an ordinary man. Scarcely changed from before. I must protect. Oh, no, this isn't right. Perhaps I overlooked something. I must return to the Holy See and review the journal. Your Grace, what shall we do with this thing? Leave it. 'Tis a failure without user value. The deserts into this place will deal with it soon enough. But it didn't deal with it. Oh, are you well? Were you perchance granted a vision of the past? An attempted summoning of King Thornton and his Knights 12. Oh, run. Your Grace, you should know full well that summoning is strictly forbidden. You will accompany us to the congregation and explain yourself. I have dedicated my life to the church, conducted my affairs in accordance with the scriptures, and others to do likewise. But you took it all from us, everything that defined us. You cannot know how it feels to have your very existence rejected, to be forsaken by the community, to be denied by your society. And I deny you in this church, and I in Ishgard, where the church. So the clone that they made. Am I right? Your Grace, no! That it should come to violence yet again. Would that your hand had not been forced, my lord. King Clem should not be alone at this time. I shall remain with him while tending to the aftermath. When things have settled, I will return to the congregation. Pray go on ahead and get some rest. Get some rest? I didn't do anything. Heading to the strategy room? Yes. Always. I practically live here now. How fares the decon? Oh, enough, given the circumstances. Though understandably shaken, he is more determined than ever to help us fellows. Truly, he is possessed of a stout heart. But to think that even a member of the Synod could succumb to despair in turn. The crisis gripping the church, far graver than I imagined. In pushing for such an abrupt separation of religion and state, we may have exacerbated the growing divide between the clergy and the general populace. Well, will you recall in full that which you witnessed in your vision? That he should seek to use one of Aleg's unholy abominations to create a primal. Yet that which manifested was not like the being you fought, but rather retained the form of a man, one driven by the desire to protect the Archbishop. We may safely assume the bishop did not have sufficient ether. Bereft of Nidhogg's eye, the sword of Aslan no longer has such power, nor does that of the Warring Triad remain to be harnessed, thanks to your valorous intervention. Oh, yeah. Though I wonder if you didn't do Warring Triad, what would have happened? But if the summoning failed, how did the clone come to possess life, and what purpose drives it? Lack of ether notwithstanding, the necessary components which were present for a summoning. Perhaps the ritual itself was a success, and the vessel, though imperfect, arose as a champion of the Archbishop. Yet how did he come to be in the Central Highlands? You believe that this clone and the man who became the blasphemy are one and the same? Nay, I merely speculate. Yet considering what we know of the clone in Vandaru, it would seem a likely possibility. Whatever the truth may be, it will not elude us forever. But first I must lay some groundwork for the next phase of our investigation. God's permitting, I will have news to share ere long, so pray look in on us when you can. Of course.